Hey guys, I'm S. Dan Wolf. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to our little experiment build here. Claire, my buddy, longtime subscriber of the channel, we were talking about Suyana and kind of the vibe that Suyana's putting off. There are parts of it that definitely have that mysterious type of, Pandora type vibe. Really just tall, towering trees, no floating mountains, particularly, but she kind of got me thinking, like, let's get in here and just see, with the foliage, with the rock work, with the mist, with the water, the plants, particularly from the Australian pack we just got. Let's just jump in and try to fix up this diorama. Let's try to build a Pandora World of Avatar theme, and see what we can make happen. And I think it worked out pretty cool. A lot of questions, people, pretty much from Reddit to Twitter to Instagram. I'm at SDanWolf on all of those, SDANWOLF, no E on the end. They asked, how do you get the water so blue? All of that's just kind of like an old Planet Coaster trick, and it is just the concrete roof pieces, and I just kind of played around until I found a color that I thought worked good as like a an off bluish aqua, almost like with a sprinkle of green in there. And yeah, that's how we get that. That's like I said, old trick from Planet Coaster. Before we actually had water in Planet Coaster, the roof pieces, that was our water. So yeah, that's kind of a technique that's just kind of been brought over. The one of the toughest parts with this build, with this scene, is getting color to pop, particularly in the daytime. Just really trying to get that alien vibe. Far off distant planet. And the first thing that I actually worked on was using these vines and these plants right here. Love the lobster claw. Particularly love the century plant, and that just came in the Australian pack. So unfortunately, if you don't have the Australian pack, you don't have access to this particular plant yet. And that really just kind of, see how it almost gives, it's almost like it gives like a nefarious, almost like an aggressive type alien kind of vibe going on with that. And then, of course, the lily pads and the mist, these right here. Let me find out what these are called for you as well, make sure I'm saying this right. They're kind of hard to select with all I have going on. These right here. Yes, the cordyline plant, small, really just helped me tremendously with the pops of color. And then another thing, too, that, you really shouldn't overlook. Don't overdo it, but your mist. Like, just look how much character and dimension, depth that the mist kind of just barely scattered out among the plants and just kind of barely hovering over the water. It just really just gives it that pop. And I really like how that came out. If the one thing I think I'll do is I will go in and add more grass pieces here. This, how do they say it? The Triodia grass. I think that's how they say it, Triodia. And I want to pop that more out throughout the build. It really has that cool, almost sawgrass looking feel to it. Definitely this build would not be possible without your larger, see if I can select it here. Yeah, your South American fallen mossy tree. I wish I would kill to have more variations of those, because those are excellent. Then, of course, your floating mountains, the big elephant in the room here. I was able to do those pretty much without any terraforming. I have a little bit of terraforming done here. I kind of used the terraforming tool as like a template, then inserted the rock pieces and the vines, and then got rid of it because it's just really not needed. And as far as your kind of like your forced perspective goes here, like as you're down here on the path, You'll notice if you come up here, I've kind of got the first set of floating mountains angled off away from the path, and then of course using the smaller rocks up higher just for that, you know, like we said, that forced perspective, that old Disney trick, the old weenie, kind of, you know, pushing it out towards the horizon, making these mountains, which, you know, I'm not using many rocks, but just tricking the eye and making the mountains look, you know, like just huge, grand, far off pieces. Your simple waterfall over here, just use the jets and then angled them up. If you were to get rid of the, like, if you would get rid of these rocks right here, you can see. Yeah, see just the angle. And that is how we achieve the really, really thin waterfall, the waterfall pieces that you would need here. Because, you know, if you've ever been into Pandora in actual Animal Kingdom, the waterfalls are really, really thin. They come down, they smack really, really hard. But we're not talking about like massive Niagara Fall here. Really kind of a really selected, really thin waterfall sections. And then down here we've got also a little smaller. You know, actually, even in Pandora, the waterfalls aren't even this big. The way they've done them, they're really, really cool. They almost come shooting out of different little cracks and crevices. And I just thought that would be a good little kick for down here. And so, yeah, that is kind of what we have going on. Kind of use those plants, and some of the cactuses are really good. The cacti, really, really good for kind of busting out the normal foliage and making it look like, yeah, something weird is going on here. So, and then also too, I guess what we'll do is let me jump in and show you the nighttime technique. Okay, guys, now here is what we were able to come up with for the nighttime, the ever important bioluminescent kind of vibe. And this absolutely would not be possible without these little balls you see here. Whoops, that selected the plant. Let me see if I can actually show you in the construction tab right here. Arctic Festival Bauble Light. This little guy right here is what's really helping sell this scene. And you can see just that really cool little glow it puts off. And they're the larger ones too, but for me it just seems like that small one, that smaller option, and the medium as well, kind of worked out the best. And then of course the other important part was to get that really, really aggressive blue hue kind of up on the mountains. So I haven't really messed with over here very much. I was kind of just seeing if I could get the vibe going right here first, because if you ever walked around in Pandora at night as well, it's a ton of blue. But I kind of wanted to give it a little more pop, particularly like with our highlighted plants here, like our alien type of plants. And I've got the little bulbs back here going across this little like huge vine section. The plants with these spikes went with like a redder kind of hue. You know, like we said before, more of kind of like an aggressive type plant on that. We've got the floating little plants out here. The water still comes out really, really cool even at night. We're floating around here right at 2108. If you wanted to kind of get this very, very late evening, but still have a little bit of a pink from the sunset back there. Even these little plants right here, you can see I've dropped some like reddish pink Arctic balls down on those, and that worked out really, really well. Like I said, we'll have to get this finished over here, kind of see what I can make happen over there. But yeah, and even these little mossy rocks right here, I've got some lights underneath here. Look how the little flowers look like they're glowing. If I could sink those down low enough, that would be cool to have on the path. But I'll show you if I'm able to select it. Yeah, it just doesn't necessarily work quite right, because they're just a little too close to the rock. So see, you can, you know, like right here would be okay, but there's still too much of the actual rock sticks up, or I could make this whole path kind of bioluminescent, and I think that would be awesome. But you know, nonetheless, I still think this came out insanely, insanely cool. This was the first blueprint I ever did for Planet Zoo. like back on the very first day that the game released. I built that, and I thought it just worked out really cool, like a kind of like a cantina. You know, I forget what they call it. I forget what they call it actually in Pandora, but they've got a cantina. You know, it's kind of like where the big mech bot kind of sets out front, and they've got that where you can buy your little weird little slushy type of drinks at it. And but yeah, this has just come out killer. I think I'd like to expand on it. You know what I even thought about? Wouldn't this be cool? I may even bring this over into Suyana. And how awesome would it be if there was like a black jaguar exhibit, and we could actually watch the little black jaguars kind of jump down here in the water and just kind of watch them play and maybe jump up on the logs. I think that would be really, really cool. Maybe do a koala bear section of it and really expand it over in Suyana instead of just starting like a full-on. I kind of don't want to start on a whole new zoo with just this, but I could definitely see incorporating it over into Suyana and really like plugging into that fantasy vibe we have going on over there. And you know, too, out of all of this is not too bad on piece count. It would transfer over really well. Check this out. See, only 828. We're under 1,000 pieces with all of this right now. So, and what I may do is, if you guys just want this scene, maybe you want to make it a gorilla habitat or just something funky in one of your zoos, before I transfer this over into Suyana and kind of get it jumbled up with what we'll end up doing over there, I think I'll just save this as a blueprint and put it on my workshop for you guys. If you're watching, watch out. We're about to switch back over to daytime in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that was a cool shot. Late afternoon. Did you see that? Kind of like right when we... Yeah, get to the park super late. That's pretty cool. Matter of fact, don't forget, starting on September 8th, I believe, now don't quote me on this, but I believe Animal Kingdom is a 9 to 5 park. So I believe Animal Kingdom is going to start closing at 5 o'clock. But don't quote me on that. Google that, but that's what I thought I had just heard. But anyways, guys, yeah, I will go ahead and jump on out of here. I just wanted to jump in and kind of show you what was going on and some different ideas that I had for this and kind of getting this switched over to Suyana, possibly. And, yeah, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you. See you guys.